Rewarded with the lifestyle of your dreams. Unfortunately, the vast majority of people have yet to experience this freedom and are stuck in a cycle of debt, stress, and disappointment. Rebel millionaires at the cutting edge of every industry. Rather than following the conventional path created centuries ago, these modern-day nonconformists had an idea, trusted their instincts, took a risk, and that risk paid off. Paid off big. Individually and collectively, they are helping to create a paradigm shift of personal consciousness in what is possible for your life today. Authors, inventors, executives, retailers, filmmakers.
As I turned 30, I realized that the American dream takes more than visualization. Therefore, I went on a journey across this great nation to hear the success stories from my generation.
Modern-day radical spirits of business who have built multi-million-dollar companies join together for the first time with seasoned mentors to explore the secrets of wealth creation, freedom, and success.
Live the limitless life and go after your dreams at all costs. And don't be somebody that talks about it. Don't be somebody that dreams about it. Be somebody who goes out and does about it.
The Young Entrepreneur Society.
It is the word that brings the best out of you. Burn it into your mind and tell everybody you meet. I am an entrepreneur and I belong to the Young Entrepreneur Society. This is Bob Rock. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was a intro to a movie I made about 2.5 years ago. What I want to do, I want to give you a little background about myself. I'll fill in the blanks of how I met Shellie, and then I want to share the greatest gift that I could possibly share with you. I have an outsourcing company. A lot of you have been talking to me and asking questions about outsourcing, which I'll get into that. But to me, I want you to know that my purpose in life is to travel the world, exploring the greatest gifts that God has given to us, researching the laws of the universe, the laws of nature, and sharing these with people in a simplistic way all around the world. My life is dedicated to that. It's dedicated to that in such a big way, I don't even have a home. I realized that keeping a home was in my way, and I had to kind of give that up so I can kind of be on the road, sharing the gifts, researching the laws of nature, and sharing these with others. I grew up in middle America, suburbia. I remember working at my father's pharmacy as a young kid every day after school, every day on the weekends. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I couldn't wait to explore and do more and be more with myself. And I went to community college because my grades weren't good enough to get into a real school. A real college, so they called it. My motto in school was C's get degrees. I did as little enough just to get by. Do you guys know people out there in the world though? They're doing just enough so they don't get caught, they don't lose their job, you know, they're still taking care of it at home. Are there people out there like that? Yeah, I know it's not the people in this room. Transferred to a regular school, moved into New York City as a young guy. Got a job, really excelled at it. At 23 years old, they moved me to Tampa, Florida, to open up my own sales office. And I remember after about a year of managing this office, I was the youngest guy in the office, and I'd have to give up a little rah-rah speech to get everybody excited and go out and sell telecommunications services. I realized that my passion in life at 23 years old, 24 years old, wasn't so much managing telecommunication salespeople. It was really helping people be successful in life. What I really enjoyed was coaching someone, giving someone feedback, and seeing the shift in them. Seeing them become a different person and do things differently and ultimately have different results. So I remember one day I walked into Tony Robbins' office. You guys ever hear of Tony Robbins? Yeah. Motivational guru out there. 2 hours later, without an appointment, without a resume, he was flying me off to Orlando, Florida. It's pretty cool. I got the job and started the very next day. And I did that for about 6 months of my life and then worked for a gentleman by the name of Tom Hopkins. And since 2003, I've had my own training company. I started doing sales trainings with companies back from 2003 to about 2008 when I was turning 30. And I had heard about these kids who are half my age, who are following their dreams, who are starting businesses as a young child. Now, Karen Hoyos is telling me her kids are out there, they're 8 years old. She's somehow attracted this amazing school where these kids are encouraged to follow their dreams. Now, I don't know about you guys, but maybe some of you were encouraged to follow your dreams. I was told to go sit in this spot, not get up, not talk to anybody, read this thing that I don't want to read, and do it until the bell rings. Now, that works for a lot of people, but it didn't really resonate with me. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to understand people and human nature, and I wanted to find out why things work, and I wanted to help people be more lit up. Do you guys like being around people that are lit up about what they do?
Yeah.
I envisioned a world at 5 years old where everybody's following their passion. You know, the cook gets to cook all day, and the guy who mows the lawns gets to mow lawns all day long, and the people are doing exactly what they want to do. I actually ended up writing a book about it in 2003 called Michael Lion's Domain. It's a story about a little lion cub growing up in a jungle, wondering why all the animals weren't playing with each other. And then he goes off on this journey, and he meets all these other animals, and he learns all these lessons along the way, and he hears about this enchanted valley, where all the animals are playing with each other. The kangaroos are jumping and playing with the giraffes, or flying with the birds and swimming with the dolphins, and all the animals are playing with each other. But in order to get to that place, you had to go through the dark forest. Now everybody was afraid to go to that dark forest. And the animals that entered into that dark forest, they never came back. And Michael Lyons, this person, or this animal in this book, he goes through the dark forest, and he has all his friends with him, and he makes it to this enchanted valley where all the animals are playing with each other, and he gets so excited that he wants to leave the enchanted valley and tell the rest of the animal kingdom that this place exists. And then he leaves the enchanted valley, and he goes off on this journey to help create other enchanted valleys around the world. And that's book one of a 3-book series. The first book is written, and I'm still writing the other 2 books.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's really a metaphor for my life of how I see the world, of wanting to create this community. When I made this move, I also started this organization called the Young Entrepreneur Society, which is groups of young entrepreneurs. We have meetup groups or chapters, similar to, for those of you that are familiar with CEO Space or any kind of meetup group. We meet on a monthly basis, and we've got 5 of them around the world. We just opened up one in Australia, and I'm going to London Monday morning, and we're going to be opening up one over there. And it's creating pockets of entrepreneurs, because in my experience, I haven't found places of young people who are encouraged to follow their dreams. But for me, what's really important is to generate enough wealth, enough money to support your lifestyle. See, I'm really big about figuring out what it is that you love to do that, and then figure out how to make money doing that. How can you support your life? Because a lot of us are starving artists, and we can't pay our bills, and we're having to sleep on other people's couches, or, you know, taken in by a man or a woman or whatever it is. You should be able to do your dream and support yourself and stand on your own 2 feet. That's the way that I believe, but they don't encourage that in go to school, get a job, work for 30 years doing something that you don't enjoy, and when you're 65 years old, you can enjoy life. You retire. And when you retire, you kind of usually end up dying a couple of years later. Were you guys given that like as the path of life when you were younger? See, I believe that lifestyle mastery is when the people who know you best don't know the difference between your work and your play. Because you're just floating around playing all day. But you've found your purpose. You've found your mission. You're doing the thing that you absolutely love, and you can do it as long as you want. These are the people who can't wake up, or can't wait to wake up in the morning, and they're like, oh, I have to go to sleep, but they're in their community. They're playing with who they love and what they love to do. So, just to give you a little more background, right after college, I went and got a job selling telecommunications services, because I was told you could make the most amount of money doing that. I immediately moved to New York City, making all this money, and I remember at 21, 22, they would put me in front of the group. We had 56 salespeople in the office. They'd say, Lewis, go tell them what you're doing out there. I'd be like, well, I'm just doing what the people who are getting the results told me to do. And I would just tell them, like, it's no secret that the information's out there. You just look to the people that are getting the results that you want to get, do the things that they're doing, and chances are you'll get a similar result. So at 23 years old, they moved me to Tampa, Florida. I opened up this office, and I'm the youngest person in the office, managing all these people. And I had a circumstance in my life. I've got a wonderful younger sister. She lives in Dallas, Texas. I had an opportunity to visit her not too long ago, just right before coming here for a few days. And I had a brother that I grew up with, and he and I, we always fought with each other. You know, I just thought that's what brothers do. The older brother picks on the younger brother. That's how life is. What I didn't realize was, and I thought the guy was a jerk. We never got along. But supposedly he was labeled as bipolar, manic depressive, and he had really high highs and low lows. And for the last 2 years of his life, he ended up dying when I was 23 years old. He took a bunch of Oxycontin, and I didn't really understand it. Like, I didn't understand what happened. Why was he like that? What I did experience was it brought my family together in a really amazing way, in a way that we were never together before, because I didn't want to be in that environment with him. I didn't want to be around someone who was bringing people down and wanting to hurt people, but I guess that was just something inside of him. But what it did for me was put me on a path of discovery, of studying human behavior, of traveling around to the greatest experts in certain areas of mind, body, spirit, psychology, neurology, just everything that I could possibly study to understand people. And I've been on this journey since 2003, and I don't think I'll ever want to stop, truly. So the greatest thing that I want to share with you here is what I call my transformation of change. You know, a lot of us we're here for the Women of Global Change. Some people might be thinking, why they got a guy here, right? I've been searching human potential and transformation for years. I was going back to the lineage, and I learned about this gentleman by the name of Alexander Everett. That's when I was introduced to Shellie. Not a whole lot of crazy background other than I was living in Miami, Florida. She was in San Francisco. And we're just talking. She goes, let's meet. And I'm like, what? I live halfway around the country. And we ended up meeting about a month later and became friends ever since. But what I've noticed, if you have like a triangle here, I don't know if you can see this, a lot of the lowest level of change that we can experience as we're wanting to go out and cause change and to create change for the world, for others. Thank you very much, Karen. The lowest level of change that we could possibly experience is what I call the environment. A lot of people are looking outside of themselves for a change. You know, a lot of us, we set our purpose. How did that feel for everybody, by the way? When you say your purpose, how did that feel?
Good.
Is that good? Yeah, the more you speak it into existence, the more you say it out there, it becomes a reality. I would have that tape playing over and over and over and just ask myself, am I acting into it? Am I being this person? But a lot of people, we look out into the environment and we're waiting for something to change. Well, when I get that book deal. Well, when that person sees me. Well, when I get recognized by this person. Well, when I make enough money. Or when my husband or my son is out of the house. Or when whatever it is, we're waiting for something outside of ourselves to happen before we actually cause this change. Does anybody resonate with that, maybe? Yeah, it happens to all of us. It happens to me all the time. And I've got to ask myself, no. If I really want to cause massive change in the world, I've got to look deeper. Deeper into myself than something outside of myself. So we can start looking at our behaviors. And we can look at, okay, we say that this is our mission. We say that this is our purpose. But are we actually doing the things that we say is aligned with our purpose? Now there's something that's even deeper in driving us. Because we can say that our purpose is here to serve the children, or to save the rainforest, or to save whatever it is. But if we don't truly believe that what we say is aligned with who we are, do you think that we're going to wake up excited to do that first thing in the morning, yes or no? Has anybody ever gotten a job or been in an office where people know what to do, but getting them to do that thing is a little difficult? Has anybody seen that out there? It's because of your true inner values are not aligned with what you're doing. You know, I say, figure out who you are, figure out what you want, and then make sure the things that you're doing are aligned with that, because then it becomes effortless. You don't need motivation from the outside, you're inner motivated. You have the drive and the inspiration to wake up every single day and start doing these things. I would notice this when I was hired in to do sales trainings for companies. I would go out and I'd say, all right, here's the script, here's what you say. First you say this, and then you say that, and then you say that. And some people would naturally do it. But the other people, they knew what to say. But getting themselves to do it, or to say it, it just wasn't aligned with their inner values. So they couldn't do the behaviors, take the actions that were aligned with what they said really mattered to them, because it congruently was inconsistent with who they were. So we've got to go deeper. It's nice to change your behaviors for a while, but we want to start changing some things that are even deeper inside of ourselves. We want to start looking at our beliefs. What do you believe about your mission? What do you believe about your purpose? Do you truly, truly believe in what you're saying? What do you believe is going to happen as a result of your attendance of the WGC? Who's it up to determine our beliefs? Who? Who?
We are.
Okay.
Is that a question?
I don't know. Hypothetical. But yeah, truly. It's up to you to decide. So how do you determine your beliefs? You know, it's funny. Didn't they once believe that the world was flat?
Yeah. It's
Didn't
not.
it? It's not. We're on a boat. We would fall off, wouldn't we? But how many times do we take the time to actually look at and examine our beliefs? Our beliefs could be the wings that help us fly, or for some of us, they could be the chains that are holding us back. I don't believe I can get the financing for my dream. I don't believe I can attract the people that are necessary to help build my dream. I don't believe that I'm worthy of living out my dream. So what we really have to go into is the one thing that drives all of us. It's the one thing that shifts instantaneously. It's the thing that for some of us it takes us 50 years to get to. And then we wake up and have a midlife crisis and we say, no more. It's that thing that I call your identity. Who are you? Why are you here? I don't just mean in this room or on this cruise. But why were you brought to planet Earth? You know, Shellie talks about leaving a legacy. You know, a lot of us, we begin the process of building our dream and doing our dream. But how about when you disappear? For some of us, it might be making a difference for our kids. For others, it's creating a foundation. For others, it's implementing worldwide change on the internet that's the wild, wild west. I mean, there's so many different ways. But have you ever asked that question? Have you ever had that foresight that sees beyond today or next week or next month or next year? And then truly asking yourself, if this is who I am I really acting into that? But I'm still waiting to find my purpose, Lewis. Well, here's what I heard when I was 23 years old. Don't wait to find your purpose. Define your purpose. It all begins with a declaration. What's a declaration? You just say, my purpose is to explore the world, researching the universal laws of nature, and then sharing them with people so they can do more of what they love and less of what they don't love. That's mine. It's just a matter of saying it. You know, you might have the peanut gallery going, hee hee, they can't do that, you can't do that. I imagine when I left the company I was working for, I imagined what's the worst thing that can happen? And I thought, I'm going to become a professional speaker that's going to share the message of empowerment all around the world and create a community around the world where people are lit up doing what they love and just everyone has unity. And I thought, okay, what's the worst thing? If I'm going to put myself into the worst possible, what's the worst thing that can happen? All right, I get in front of people and people laugh at me. And I split my pants. Then they throw tomatoes at me. And then there's Randy Gersh, the girl in 3rd grade, who goes, ha ha, Lewis, I told you, you're foolish, or whatever it is. What's the worst thing that could happen if you follow your dream that makes you feel good, that you're in the flow and it's effortless about? What's the worst thing? And if you put yourself and actually experience what it's like to feel, to breathe, to experience, to see the worst thing that could possibly happen, would you be willing to experience that to live your dream? Yes or no?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
Okay, I can't wait to see you guys in a few years. Because I know as a result of us synergistically coming together, to create this one consciousness, we're going to be vibrating at a whole nother level. So when we leave this room, when we leave this